Hello again, children. So today we're going to carry on practicing our column method for subtraction. So we're going to start with some basic practice for me, please. You'll need a pencil and some paper, and you're going to pause the video and have a go at these. Remember, it's subtraction. Okay, so you should have got these for your answers. Needed some exchange here, but no exchange for this one. Now, same again, you're going to complete these column subtractions, pause the video and give it your best shot, and we'll look at the answers in a moment. Okay, so let's have a look. A is this one, and B and C required some exchange, and D required a lot of exchange to do that one. Hope you got those. Well done if you did. Now, we are going to have to record our subtractions here, which is why I've put some square paper up. A family has £22,658 in the bank and they spend £3,600 on a holiday. How much money do they have left? Now, I think that's one you probably could do mentally, but let's have a little practice at doing it using our column method. Remember, again, I'm starting in the ones place to check that my number is the right size, 22,658. And I'm taking away okay, 8 take away nothing is 8, 5 take away nothing is 5, 6 take away 6 is 0, 2 take away 3. I can't do it. Can I do 3 from 22? I probably could, couldn't I? 3 from 22 is 19. My pound sign in. Okay, so again, we're going to use our estimating skills first to help us with this. Read it carefully, pause the video, estimate, and then calculate. Okay, so which teams have a difference of 3,101? And I believe that is the High Flyers and the Fantastic French. Which two teams have the greatest difference? And I believe that is the Beast on the Conjurers, have a difference of 10,464, and the smallest difference at 1,838 is the Fantastic French and number one. Let's just move that so you can see it. The Fantastic French and number ones. Okay. Is this statement always, sometimes, or never true? Explain what you're thinking. If you find the difference between two consecutive numbers, the answer will be an even number. Consecutive numbers are just as they sound, they're numbers that come after each other. So if I find the difference between 21 and 22, it will be 1. It's an even number. Let's check it and see. A pair of consecutive numbers, one number will be odd and the other number will be even. And when you find the difference, you'll always have an odd answer. Now, so if we come back to this from yesterday. So we've got 3 whole numbers, A, B and C, and each has 5 digits. The difference between A and B is 12,345. The difference between B and C is 54,321. What could my numbers be? Find 3 possibilities and show your working. Now, I think a way of doing this is to use a bar model and maybe look at something a little bit like this. So A, the difference between A and B is this much, 1,235. And the difference between B and C is 54,321. So this number here must be bigger than 54,321. It must be bigger than 54,321. So if I was to say, for example, that in there, my number is, I can choose what number I put in there. So if I put in there 61,244, okay, then my two numbers here together make this number here. So these two numbers here together make A now. So I need to add those up. I need to add together. Let's look at that again, don't I? Take that comma out of that place there, pop it in. Pop it in there. I can add those two together. So I could say 61,244, and added to that is 12,345. If I add them together, I'm going to get 9, 8, 5, 3, 9, 8, 5, 3, 7. So my number in there is 73,589. And then to work out this one, I'm going to have to take my 54,321 away from my 61,244 to get C. So I'm using some inverse operations there. So for this one, it would have to be, I don't know, maybe write it in numbers for you. It would have to be 61,244 take away 54,321. And that's going to give me what's in C. So that's 3, 2, 9, 6. Now I have a problem now, because this is only a 4-digit number and it needs to be a 5-digit number. So I possibly might need to make that one a bit bigger. If I made that maybe 71,000, it would help me. Have a little go at it, see what you think. Email them to me when you've done them. I'd really like to see them. Okay, so our next calculation is, it's 10,553 miles from London to Sydney. It's 9,929 miles from New York to Sydney. How much further away is Sydney from London than from New York? It's 10,553 miles from London to Sydney. It's 9,929 miles from New York to Sydney. How much further away is Sydney from London? I think I would bar model that as well. So this is London to Sydney. We'll put on there London to Sydney, and then that's 10,553. And my next bar is New York to Sydney, which is 9,929. So that's Sydney and that's New York. This little gap here will tell us how much further away is Sydney from London than New York. So we've got a takeaway calculation to do there. Again, when you've had a go at that, let me have a look at it. Okay. Now, takeaway calculations here to work out our missing values. Would you use your subtraction skills, please, to tell me what is missing from the part-whole model and what is missing from the bar model? So these two added together, taken away from this one, will give me what's left here. This value, taken from my original value, will give me what's left here. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's see how you got on. I hope you got those. Some of the tricky ones there for you. Okay, let's have a look at some mistakes, shall we? Mr. Hall has written some subtractions on the board and he's made a mistake. Rosie's worked out one and Whitney's worked out the other. Who has made the mistake? And can you explain what mistake it was? Pause the video and have a little go for me. I think, looking at it, they've both made mistakes. It said, explain the mistakes that Rosie and Whitney have made. And at a glance, I can see they have both made some mistakes. So let's look at this together. That bit's right. That bit's right. That bit's right. That bit's right. Oh no. Is that bit right? That bit's right. That bit is right. Oh, can you see what she's done? She's put the small number at the bottom and the small number, the big number, sorry, should always be at the top. It's always good to check that we've written it down properly first, isn't it? Before we move on to Whitney's, let's check she's written it down properly. We've got the biggest amount at the top. Yes, 68,000 and then 34,000. Let's check. Oh, there's a mistake here. What mistake's gone on here? We needed to have done some exchange there, and that didn't happen. And then no exchange here. So there's lots of mistakes there. Now, this is something that you might not do using a formal column method, because if you look very carefully, these numbers are quite close to a rounded figure. So you might, like, oh, it is a rounded figure there, look. You might be able to use a different method. So pause the video and have a go. Can you find out the difference between these two numbers without doing a formal subtraction calculation? Have a try. Okay, let's look at the first one. So the first one, I'm 4 away from 10,000 there and 5 away from 10,000 there. 5 add 4 is 9. The next one, sorry, we're using our bonds to 10. So 7 and 3 will make that 10 there. And then I need 2 and 7. And I need 7 and 2. And then I need my 3 to work that. That's all about pairs of numbers to 10. Well done if you got that one. And the last one, it's only 2 away, look. So take 2 off that one and add it onto this one. And that's where we are. We take 10,000 off it and then add 2 back on. 10,000 off, 2 back on. I think this problem is a reading calculation, so let's read it carefully. Teddy and Jack are playing a computer game. Teddy scores 55,890 points. Jack scores 36,475 points fewer than Teddy. How many points does Jack score? So he scores fewer than Teddy. So this is what Teddy scores. And we don't know what Jack scores, but we know that if we take it away from Teddy's score, we'll know what his score was. So we needed to take it away from Teddy's score. And there we go. How many points do the children have together? We need to add this one to this one here. Ron makes 4-digit number cards, and Eva makes a 4-digit number with a card. The difference between the numbers is between 1,000 and 3,000. What numbers could Ron and Eva make? So you've got to put your numbers together. You've got to put the cards together to make numbers that have got a difference of more than 1,000 but less than 3,000. Have a go. See how many you can do. Pause the video and have a try. Okay, how did you get on? Here are 2 examples. It could have been that we made 8,591 and we made 9,815 because the difference between them is greater than 1,000. And it didn't matter what combination of numbers you made, as long as the difference between them was always greater than 1,000 and less than 3,000. Well done, you've worked hard today. Tomorrow we're going to look at rounding.